Welcome, everyone. I hope you have joined. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining. And welcome to another exciting webinar hosted by Joy of Performing. As promised, we have invited two wonderful panelists who are making significant strides in their respective fields. So before I introduce them, okay, and let us talk a little bit about our topic today. I hope everyone is aware about MSME and micro, small, and medium enterprises. So this sector is projected to grow to $1 trillion by 2028. And now imagine $1 trillion. Now, what an immense opportunity it is. And we all need to have that kind of a focus. So it's very important that MSMEs and a focus on their growth are critical. Everyone understands, right? I hope you all have seen different initiatives taken by Government of India, Prime Minister, vocal, local to global, and other initiatives, and they are making significant impact also by into taking people from India, from the MSMEs from India to give them exposure to the outside world and to do the business outside. And it is not just about the business, it is how to do the business also, because uh, they are very, very interesting people who are doing very interesting work. But when it comes to the exposure of doing the business, there they fail. There is a challenge. And today's webinar is one step towards that, to understand those challenges and how our experts, our expert panelists can tell us how to solve certain challenges which can be helpful for our MSMEs. With our topic, Overcoming Common MSME Challenges with OKRs, let us welcome our expert panelists, our esteemed panelists, Dr. Rachana Chowdhary. Dr. Rachana Chowdhary is the CEO of Media Value Works MSME Development Center, and she has worked immensely, right, towards the betterment of the sector, and she works with the different sides of the government also. And let me also introduce you to Deepshikha Balwani, our another esteemed panelist. Deepshikha comes with the experience, more than 18 years of experience into the HR, and also helping more than 200 startups and SMEs, right, to help them drive their growth and success. So on one hand, we have Dr. Rachana Chowdhary, who is a subject matter experts in the MSMEs, right, who can shed light on the challenges and all those things. And Deepshikha is a consultant and is a coach who can help us solve the problems. Okay. So before we move forward, our audience, I like to tell our audience just some few house rules. Please feel free to drop any question in our Q&A box. Okay, I will, towards as the webinar progresses, I'll pick up those questions and I'll put it to the esteemed panelists. And panelists, you can also pick those questions, okay, the relevant questions you feel to answer. So before we move forward, I like to ask our esteemed panelists to introduce themselves briefly. So let me first of all go to Dr. Rachana Chowdhary. Please briefly introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Ravi, and thank you, GOP, for organizing this wonderful webinar. And hello, participants. Lovely meeting you. So as Ravi just mentioned, my name is Rachana Chowdhary, and I'm actually traditionally a media marketing specialist, helping, enabling businesses to go global. And that's been my forte over the last 25 years of my journey. I run Media Value Works as an agency, and we have various verticals. One of the vertical that we do focused on the MSME is a development center. At the development center, we are working on two folds. One is a domestic area where we are working with women entrepreneurs. We are working on enabling these businesses identify their challenges. Sorry, I think this lot of noise in the background. Am I audible to?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I
Please,
was
please.
getting a lot of background noise, sorry. And so at the MSME Development Center, we have twofold approach, helping the Indian MSMEs who are, typically the Indian MSMEs, I think 95% of them are in the micro category, which means they are literally the less than 5 crores turnover businesses. And when you go very deep, you will actually go to realize that they are actually less than 1 crore also. In that bracket, there are plenty of these MSMEs. What they need is real help and guidance, mentorship, support in making them grow the next level and the next level and the next level. So that's the domestic role that we do with a lot of women entrepreneurs. We help them scale. And at the international level, the MSMEs who have reached like a particular bracket, a lot of manufacturing firms, a lot of distribution services, we are taking them into global markets.
Right.
So these are the two tasks that we do at the development center. And over to you, Deepshikha. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rachana. I hope maybe due to a technical glitch, Deepshikha is finding trouble to, I believe, log in.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sure.
let's keep the momentum running. Right. So I hope our audience will definitely going to hear firsthand some of the challenges and how they can be mitigated from you, Rachana. So, Rachana, whenever we talk about or whenever we hear MSME and people gradually move from micro to small to medium as the business progresses. But we all hear that there are a lot of challenges uh, in the MSME sector. So I understand if you compare the challenges of micro to medium enterprises, they may be different. But as a whole sector, okay, whole segment of MSME, like you have a great experience and you're working with government. So what kind of a challenges you see, the common challenges basically, which are now becoming the bottleneck in today's world, okay? And the second part of that question I would like to ask you, uh, now since I said that today's world, if we are talking about technology and digitization, AI cannot be skipped. So please do also connect those challenges with the AI because AI is now getting into reality.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
please.
Wonderful. Thank you. So I think I'll take this question at 2-3 steps that
Please.
can help all of us see through. And the whole idea being this is more interactive and it's not
Right.
like I'm a teacher on teaching. It's not like that all of us are here on the same page. We are all learning from each other. And that's the core element in today's day and age that you've got to keep evolving, keep learning, keep interacting, and keep collaborating.
Right.
Without that, things are not going to happen because it's not just the Purana Zamane wala specialization. Today, there is a specialization within the specialization and within it and within it. So it goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and there are layers that you need to navigate. Without navigating the layers, and the challenge, therefore, is multiple fold. मतलब एक macro level challenge तो हम बोल सकते हैं भाई finance, भाई talent identification, human resources, so those are the broader level जिसको कि हम बोले marketing and sales, operations management, finance management, talent management, production and supply chain management. ये सभी कुछ को लेके आदमी बोलेगा कि ये टिपिकल एमएसएमई के चैलेंजेस हैं. बट ये स्टिल आई वुड से इज अ बुकिश नॉलेज कि भाई आपने ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट का चैलेंज तो बोल दिया बट उसके अंदर हो क्या रहा है. ओके आपने बोल दिया कि बिजनेस ग्रोथ इज अ चैलेंज बट बिजनेस ग्रो होगा कैसे. Everything is a strategy and it needs to be drilled down. If it is not drilled down, it will go up to a level, but it will not close. And then in that level, आपने मेहनत पूरी करी, आपने टाइम पूरा लगा दिया और वो क्लोज नहीं हुआ. चाहे वो बिजनेस है, चाहे वो डिलीवरी है, चाहे वो सक्सेसफुल एग्जीक्यूशन है. So even execution becomes a big challenge because there is one single owner. He or she is the master in the business. and there is only 24 hours for all of us here. So हम क्या क्या कर सकते हैं इस 24 घंटे में?
Very
So
true.
the real challenge finally is the time management,
Oh,
and over it all other challenges.
right.
So identifying the skill and
Right.
then hiring the right skill becomes
Hmm.
a way to progress. But
Right.
again, फिर it is a chicken and egg. भाई hiring भी आप तब करोगे जब आपके पास finance है, भाई किसी को
Hmm.
hire कैसे करोगे?
Hmm.
So it's a chicken and egg all the time. But
Hmm.
at the same time, it does not mean that we get demoralized
Hmm.
and we get so demotivated that, oh my God, एक के बाद एक के बाद एक के बाद हम बढ़े तो कैसे बढ़े, but ये नहीं सोचना.
Right.
Because there is sunlight and at the end of the tunnel, there is everything that is going to fall in place.
Right.
So maybe the initial period, आपको juggle करना है. Juggle, juggle, juggle. Don't worry if it is not working out. Trash it that minute. If it is working out, great, continue. If it is not, trash it.
Right.
अगर ये हम अपने आप में अडेप्ट करके सीख के आगे बढ़े, so एक्सपेरिमेंट सबको करना है.
Hmm.
In MSME, the challenges are those many that I said, but experimenting is the key that an owner or an MSME entrepreneur or a startup founder needs to incorporate in their habit.
Hmm.
If they think मैंने बैठ के ये एक शेड्यूल बनाया था, ऐसा स्प्रेडशीट था, ऐसा पीपीटी था, मैंने ऐसा सोचा था, ये मेरा प्रोसेस था, इसके अलावा तो मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता हूँ.
Hmm.
No, that's all the thing of the past. That's all the thing of the past.
Right.
Today, you got to go on your fly, think on your feet, make associations, make collaborations, and do not hesitate to ask for business.
Right.
While I'm saying that, even it took me many, many years, आज भी उतना नहीं आसान होता है बोलना कि भाई, give me business. You can't ask that because in our Indian culture, we have not been trained to talk that language.
Time to talk. Right.
That's the core reason why we need to incorporate many
Hmm.
of those things in the current digital world,
Hmm.
because ये पुराना जमाना रहा ही नहीं है. So you got to digitize your psychology also equally, like the way the world has started interacting.
Right.
So अब
Right.
interactions वैसे हो रहे हैं तो आपको भी उसी तरह से अपने आप को ढालना पड़ेगा. So
Hmm.
I think these are broadly what we can see as the challenges part, and we can go deeper again. आप
Right.
आगे.
So, Dr. Rachana,
Hmm.
before we get on to the conversation with AI challenges
Hmm.
and how MSME is looking to the AI advancements or how they are ready or equipped to utilize that. One of the things that often comes because we also have certain organizations from micro to small to medium, right? One of the things that we encounter is the business clarity, because as you said that there are a lot of management that they have to go through: operations management, finance management, a lot of management, right? So whole business is about managing it effectively. And also you said about the juggling part. आपको juggle करना है, आपको बहुत लंबा है ना, you don't have to wait. You have to quickly get away with the things. Okay, this is not working, stop it, do new things. Now, if we see both of the things, a lot of times we have seen that I have seen that the founders or the managers, they struggle to keep the focus, give clarity to the team. A lot of times, suppose there's a team of 20, 25 people, they are manufacturing something, okay, or they are into the service industry itself, okay. Now, sometimes when they juggle, they see their founder juggling too much, they wonder what is happening. So do you see that also as a challenge?
Great. Ravi, मैं आपको ना इसका juggling, I am saying, is in the mind of the founder,
Right.
not at the functioning level in front of
Not
staff.
at the function level,
Hmm?
right.
As a staff, we got to come in as a very structured thinker
Right.
and put processes in place at
Right.
office.
Hmm.
बिना प्रोसेस के तो कुछ नहीं होगा.
कुछ नहीं
So
होगा.
the main challenge को अगर हम बोले तो people, process, technology, ये तो एक thumb rule ही है.
Hmm.
When I'm referring to juggling, I'm clearly talking to that founder and in his mind.
Hmm.
ठीक है, तो उन्हें ये करना है जगल.
Hmm.
और जब वो जगल कर रहे हैं तो वो अपने उस जगल को रिजॉल्व भी करते जा रहे हैं अपने थिंकिंग प्रोसेस में, और
right.
जब वो रिजॉल्व कर रहे हैं तो उसका प्रोसेस अपनी कंपनी में डालते जा रहे हैं। इस तरीके से वो जर्नी चलेगी, जिसको
right.
कि हम बोल रहे हैं कि वो ऐसे ऐसे खींचा तानी चिकन और एग वो वाला,
Right.
वो जो है
Yes.
ना, पहले ये करे, पहले ये करे, पहले ये करे, पहले ये करे, पहले ऑर्डर ले आए कि पहले
Yeah.
पहले प्रोसेस बना ले पहले।
Yes.
यही सबकी जिंदगी में होता है, कोई इसका रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है, ये
Right.
खुद ही सॉल्व होना है। इसका तरीका ये है कि आपने 2 कदम आगे बढ़े, 1 कदम पीछे आए, उसको सॉल्व किया, दो 2 कदम आगे गए, 1 कदम पीछे आए, उसको सॉल्व किया। इस तरह से आपने उसको स्टिच कर लिया।
Right.
That's one way to do. And broadly to think through. It's all about the thinking. It's about the entire thing today is the mindset of the founder has to be empowered.
Right.
Everything falls in place thereafter. So the
Right.
challenges जितने हम externally सोच रहे हैं कि हमें ऑफिस भी चाहिए, हमें वो भी चाहिए, हमें वो भी चाहिए, वो सब चैलेंज को यहाँ पे डाल के माइंडवेयर, इफ वी इनकलकेट अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग माइंडवेयर, then your hardware, your software, your middleware, your financeware, your operationsware, everything will fall in place. Get the mindware intact, हाँ।
Get the money.
तो इसमें ये है जैक ऑफ ऑल मास्टर ऑफ नन वाला जो कहानी था, उसके मास्टर ऑफ नन को हटा दिया जाए, जैक ऑफ ऑल बनना पड़ेगा एज अ
बनना
फाउंडर।
पड़ेगा।
हाँ,
Right.
तो
Right.
फाउंडर्स की टिपिकल पर्सनैलिटी क्या होती है कि अगर कोई फाउंडर है जो शायद से किसी सस्टेनेबल बिजनेस में आगे बढ़ रहा है,
Right.
तो उस फाउंडर की सस्टेनेबल की नॉलेज, सस्टेनेबिलिटी वाली रिलेटेड जो चीजें बनानी है, वो नॉलेज उसका सबसे अच्छा होगा। He
Right.
will be like the supremo in that. At the same time, he will have equal knowledge on multiple things, which will be marketing, which will be sales, which will be distribution, which will be channel partnership, ecosystem, finance, fundraise कैसे करें, ये सब चीजों को मॉडरेट लेवल पे तो नॉलेज होना ही चाहिए,
Knowledge
तब
होना
जाके
चाहिए।
वो बिजनेस खड़ा हो जाएगा बहुत अच्छी
Right.
तरह से।
Very nice.
That is how I
Very
would
nice.
describe it. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
ठीक है जी।
And audiences, if you notice that in our the title of our today's topic is Overcoming Common Challenges. We have heard about the common MSME challenges from Dr. Rachana. Now, there's other part of it, how to overcome those common challenges with OKRs. Now, as Dr. Rachana emphasized that कि वो mindset ऐसा बनाना पड़ेगा, you will have to have that kind of a mindset, which is a leader's mindset, I'll say. Uh, and the managers have to become those leaders. People have to become those managers, and they have to learn all those things. But how can the management framework, because while Dr. Rachana was speaking, you must have heard a lot of management again and again, right? So please don't worry about that. It's simply how you manage the things, how you manage the businesses. And OKRs are a great way to manage your business, to achieve your success in the businesses. So, Deepshikha, thank you for joining. Uh, I sometimes we have technical glitches. Deepshikha, you're on mute.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you for the nice introduction to both of us. And I heard a bit about you, Rachana. But
Right.
if you would like to, you said that. So I come from the HR growth partnership background. It's been 18 years. And most of the time works with the startup and MSME. We're working on the challenges is very interesting. And this is what has brought me into the consulting. 18 years, like 10 years back, it's been 10 years it's been into the consulting. A lot of challenges comes, and when you really look at that and you look at the growth, the other aspect, it inspires me to work in this sector with the people.
Thank you, Deepshikha. Thank you. So, Deepshikha, I'll now come to you, and I'll expand the question that I asked to Dr. Rachana. We were talking about the MSME challenges, okay, in today's world. What are the different kind of a challenge, and how those leaders, what kind of a challenges they are facing. Now, on one side of the coin is a challenge. Then the second side of the coin, let us talk about how we can mitigate those challenges. Now, considering your experience working with these startups and with the MSMEs, what kind of a proactive steps these leaders can take, okay, to leverage AI, okay, because now AI we cannot miss,
Ignore.
we cannot ignore, right? And AI, if used beautifully, can be tremendously helpful for these young micro or the medium or the medium enterprises. So can you just briefly answer that?
I think the first challenge is that the slow adoption of technology. This is basically definitely a aspect where MSME miss. And then is a learning and development, and that continuously. On the name of learning and development, few trainings, a typical kind of trainings they go through it. But learning towards the way now the world is growing and India is growing towards the businesses, it's very, very important to leverage our learning and technology. And we should not hesitate investing money on learning AI tools, techniques, and there I feel it's their presence is required. Their look forward for is required basically.
Right, and I think that the learning curve using AI, okay, we people can have different takes on AI, but definitely yes, the generative AI can help us learn a lot of things very quickly, generate a lot of things very quickly. Like for example, I was talking to one of small client, okay, who falls in the bracket of small enterprises, okay. They were facing a lot of challenges in creating good presentations, good graphics for the presentation, and they used to outsource it earlier. And then they said to us, Ravi, now we have learned, we have invested on the course actually, and we are now paying for a tool which can give us a very high impactful. We have just taken one license. They have taken one license. But they are saying now through AI, we are generating, because they have to go to lot of investors while the clients also, and they have to showcase their products through the presentations. So now,
And one more thing I would like to state that is a part of startups. If you look at the blockchain technology is growing faster. It is
yes,
growing so rapidly faster because they themselves are into the technology. World is
right,
moving from the Web 2 to Web 3. They are at the startup and pre-launch stage in India.
right.
Kind of growth you will say because they are into technology. Even the sharing their projects, man, ye banaya, ye banaya. I'm also from the blockchain world. Now, look, if I compare both the world from MSME, we are typically stuck with the idea हमें sale आता है, हमें अपना product बेचना आता है, बस हमको तो यही आता है.
Right.
I see a lot of businesses, consumer durables and other, without technology, they are nothing. I don't go to the market for the shopping. I look at these sites now, these aggregators. If we do not apply technology, we're going to fail. So this is, I think, is very, very important, and continuous learning along with that. MSMEs and startups, and we all need to look forward to this.
Right, right. Thank you, Deepshikha. So now we have understood that there are challenges. We have understood that through the advancement of technology in terms of AI, okay, a lot of good things can happen. Another area which we think the leaders can get help from these first-time managers can get help from, is the OKR framework. OKR framework is nothing but objective and key result, which helps them bring focus, clarity onto what actually matters. Okay. So with that, Deepshikha, I'll come to you. That in your experiences, I know you're smiling. Okay. Like, what is your experience? Do you think that, and how do you think that OKRs can help them?
प्यारा क्वेश्चन और 1000 बार फेस किया है. क्यों किया है?
Yeah.
India is stuck with the performance is HR job. It's not. It's completely connected to a strategic priority which is highly missing in MSME. हमें लगता है जो फाउंडर को क्लैरिटी है ना वो सबको है. नहीं पता, आपके लीडरशिप पूल को भी नहीं पता है क्या चल रहा है. बस वो स्टेज को पता होता है अप टू नंबर इतने करोड़ निकालने, ये करना वो करना, उसके लिए लगे हुए हैं. So definitely, and second thing I would say in India, frameworks की तो बात ही नहीं करते entrepreneurs. We don't talk about frameworks. We have heard balanced scorecard is something okay, and then in their mind it's a very high kind of thing which we can't apply. It's sometimes I see that MSM the companies require these kind of framework. They say we are not mature enough to adopt this.
Right.
So if you are not mature enough to adopt this, you need to bring that maturity at place. And this is important, very, very important. The organizations which we see MSME moving towards MSMEs to big, large enterprises and unicorns, they adopt some framework. Without frameworks, it's not possible. So frameworks like OKRs definitely play a very vital role in business, I feel. It's not like I'm consultant, I'm saying I'm entrepreneur. Both the
Yeah.
and for many companies, I'm advisor, but I have my own 2 companies. So I see this is very, very important.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deepshika. Now, Dr. Rachana, hearing to Deepshika, and also I believe you have knowledge of these frameworks, how these frameworks works. Now, tell me, like, if we see that now also Deepshika said that sometimes the MSMEs shy away. Sometimes they think that no, it's some big thing. Okay, this is not a time. Let us grow first, then we'll think about it. But the other side of it is also the resource constraint. Okay, so given that resource constraint and the very dynamic environment faced by MSMEs, so how can OKRs be adopted to be most effective? How it can be adopted very effectively? Because problems बहुत सारे हैं. Problems of mindset भी है. Problems is a resource constraint also. Business dynamic भी है. Now, but still, there's a framework which is actually helping people, which is helping micro, small, and medium enterprises and the large enterprises as well, right? So how that can be adapted? Please share something.
So, sure. So, I think सबसे पहले तो the founder or the CEO, and he or she needs to build a little leadership. मतलब at least 1 or 2 shoulders to fall back on, to discuss freely, and that relationship टेक्निकली यार अब वो हमेशा बिजनेस पार्टनर बन के इक्विटी शेयरिंग पे होए ऐसी भी जरूरत नहीं है. देयर आर इनफ एंड मोर वेरी वेरी पावरफुल मेंटर्स who are here to help founders identify and have a sounding board. That is
Right.
one way to also inculcate thinking process.
Right.
Once that is happening, at the same time, coming to fixing the agenda on your blocks is something like a simple software that can be OKR, Objective Key Results. बहुत सिंपल है. इसमें कोई डिफरेंस और कोई डिफिकल्टी, कोई कॉम्प्लिकेशंस नहीं है. आपने एक ऑब्जेक्टिव बनाया. In this quarter, my objective is to reach out to 20 customers. As simple as that. अब शायद आपके टीम में 4 ही जना बैठे, सिर्फ 4 की टीम है, इट इज फाइन. 3 की भी टीम है, 2 की भी टीम है, इट इज फाइन. बट अगर वो 2 की टीम वो देख रही है कि हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव इस क्वार्टर में 20 कस्टमर्स को रीच करना है, तो सबसे पहले कि ये 2 की टीम ने आपके माइंड को पढ़ लिया है, क्योंकि ये आपने वहां पे डाल दिया है, तो उन्हें एक सामने एक काइंड ऑफ डायरेक्शन है. इट मे नॉट बी अ डायरेक्ट टारगेट, but they know this is what our goal is, and we want to achieve this. You will then take it to the simple next step is इसका key result. तो during the quarter उसको दिखाई दे रहा है ना कि भाई हमने अभी तक 7 कंपनी से बात कर ली, 8वां चल रहा है, 12वां पे अभी हम अटके हुए हैं, अब हमारा ये क्वार्टर एंड होने वाला है. So it is as simple and as transparent and as visible. So आपका की रिजल्ट मैप होता जा रहा है. ठीक है, जैसे ही आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव आ रहा है, की रिजल्ट्स मैप हो रहे, यू आर अचीविंग योर गोल. तो फॉर द क्वार्टर इफ यू हैड प्लान्ड इन योर माइंड कि मैं 20 कस्टमर से बात करूंगा, और अगर आपने 20 कस्टमर से बात कर लिया, जिसका रिपोर्ट सामने दिखाई दे रहा है, जिसने कहा यस, जिसने कहा नो, जिसने कहा मे बी, जिसने कहा मैं अगस्त के बाद बात करूंगा, सब कुछ दिखाई दिया, तो यू हैव ट्रेवल्ड अ जर्नी so organized way that you would not have traveled if you would not have had a dashboard of that. वो अपने डायरी में लिख लिया, सुबह बोल दिया, व्हाट्सएप पे लिख दिया, यार उससे बात कर लेना, कोई गूगल शीट बना के डाल दिया, देखा नहीं उसने, ऐसे होता है. So I think a simple software of these kinds can help you navigate very easily your teamwork and smartly put together. That I would imagine it to be like that. Yeah.
Wow, Rachana, I think so. I could not put it in so simple terms.
Very tiring, simultaneously, very tiring and tedious to work and look at Excel sheet. Like even very important data, we will not be able to see. Softwares like GOP has helped immensely to see a very clear, clean product. None of the other things are included into this. Clear dashboard that where my business is growing quarter-wise quarter. So I like this thing about GOP personally when I've used with my many clients.
Thank you. So Dr. Rachana, it's I believe you put it very beautifully in a very simplistic words that there's so much time that is being consumed just to make things transparent, just to communicate things. If frameworks like this or the product like this, if they can reduce that time, make it more effective as well as efficient, I think so half of the job, half of the battle is done.
बिल्कुल.
Because I also I believe in one of the sayings that out of sight is out of mind. Now with the OKR framework, it is never out of sight. So it cannot be out of the mind.
और ये सोचना कि हम सब यूनिकॉर्न ही बन जाएंगे 6 महीने में काम करके, या हमने करोड़ों रुपया का फाइनेंस ही रेज कर लेना है एज द ओनली गो टू, ये मेथोडोलॉजी का भी जरूरत नहीं है.
Yes.
So as we are maturing, as our country is maturing, as all of us are maturing, I think we are adding lot of knowledge to our own selves.
Right.
And there are immense tools which are so economical to used कि वो जमाना ही नहीं रहा कि आपको इतना बड़ा लोन लगेगा, आपकी 5 की टीम या 20 की टीम या 25 की टीम, चलो आप बहुत अच्छा बन गए हो, आप फाइनेंस रेज कर लो, आपका वर्किंग कैपिटल की जरूरत है, एंड देन यू आर गेटिंग इनटू absolutely the new level. Yes, go for it. But ये नहीं कि अभी बस थोड़ा सा ही चीज है, बिना वर्किंग कैपिटल के तो मैं चल ही नहीं सकता हूँ. That is past, because
Right.
there is immense potential that you could develop business ideas on the fly, leverage social media, and then coming to AI. How AI is that resource that you are searching for.
Very important, AI as a resource.
AI is your resource. अब ये जमाना ही बदल गया है कि चैट जीपीटी आपको वो सब कुछ कर दे रहा है जो आप शायद पता नहीं कितनी, कोई स्मार्ट मार्केटियर को लाते, कोई स्मार्ट कंटेंट वर्क को लाओगे, सेक्रेटरी को लगाओगे, पता नहीं ये दसियों लोगों का काम ये बेचारा चैट जीपीटी शांत में बैठ के करता रहता है अपना. So I think the effective use of chat GPT for all of us here is to be learnt. There are enough tools online. Some of them I can just give little guidance, क्योंकि अब तो ऐसा कोई बचा ही नहीं जो चैट जीपीटी ना यूज करे. बट द डिफरेंस नाउ देयरफॉर इज आप चैट जीपीटी से क्या आंसर निकलवा पा रहे हो.
Right.
उसमें चैलेंज आ रहा है,
उसमें
क्योंकि
challenge आ रहा है.
वो चैट जीपीटी ये सच ए टूल की वो एल्गोरिथम आपको थ्रो तो कर देगा रिजल्ट, आपने जो बोला वो थ्रो कर देगा, लेकिन उस थ्रो में क्वालिटी आ रहा है कि कितना लेस क्वालिटी आ रहा है, वो जजमेंट हमें लेना है.
Right.
उसके लिए जो फ्रेमवर्क है, यू नो हाउ टू यूज एआई मोर साइंटिफिकली टू प्रोड्यूस नियर प्रीमियम ऑप्टिमम रिजल्ट्स. उसके लिए जो फ्रेमवर्क वो ये कहलाता है कि पहले आपने चैट जीपीटी पे, चलो फ्री अकाउंट भी रख लो, पेड अकाउंट पे बाद में भी जा सकते हैं, उसको पहले वी कॉल इट राइस फ्रेमवर्क, RISE, ठीक है ना. तो राइस में हम पहले बोलेंगे चैट जीपीटी को व्हाट इज द रोल, वो जो बैठा हुआ है बॉट या उसको जो भी आप नाम दीजिए, उसका रोल क्या है. तो यू हैव टू से टू चैट जीपीटी, हेलो आई एम सो एंड सो, यू आर द मार्केटिंग मैनेजर फॉर माई फर्म नेम्ड XYZ. तो चैट जीपीटी ऑटोमेटिकली मार्केटिंग पकड़ लिया है उसके दिमाग में. अब आपने उसको बोला कि आई एम लुकिंग फॉर मार्केटिंग प्लान्स फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर. ठीक है, ये सब काम हम नॉर्मली बहुत एक्सपीरियंस मार्केटिंग मैनेजर्स को रख के करेंगे, आज ये चैट जीपीटी खुद कर रहा है. आपने उसे फिर इंफॉर्मेशन फीड करना है कि हमें क्या चाहिए आपसे. सो RICE में, वो सी में आप कंस्ट्रेंट्स में डालोगे दैट आई एम नॉट लुकिंग फॉर एग्जॉस्टिव पेड मार्केटिंग. That is, I'm just giving you very easy daily apply करने वाली easy logics. ठीक है,
Right.
आप उसको बोल दो ये मेरा कंस्ट्रेंट है भाई. आप जैसे कि I want to launch a car company does not mean I'm going to launch a Mercedes car company. So you have to give the constraint, because वो तो एक बॉट है, उसे वो कुछ भी सोच सकता है. तो you have to understand and draw the 4 walls so that it is going to operate within that 4 walls. And इसके बाद वो आपको एग्जाम्पल अगर दिया आपने, तो वो एक एग्जाम्पल भी दे दो कि आई एम लुकिंग फॉर अ सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग प्लान फॉर 3 months, स्पेशली ऑन फेसबुक, टू टारगेट women led entrepreneurs from the region North India who has the capacity to buy my product being new quality of t-shirts. एकदम सिंपल एग्जांपल दे दिया मैंने। अगर आपने इतना उस चैट जीपीटी पे डाल दिया, वो जो जनरेट करके आपको देगा, दैट इज थीसिस। आपको उससे ज्यादा कोई दुनिया में नहीं क्रिएट करके देगा।
Thank you,
ये
thank you, Rachana ji.
इससे सब काम हो जाएगा।
And I hope audiences are loving this. And I'm just putting it to you guys, right? Please, if any one of you wants to connect with Dr. Rachana and Deepshikha, please connect with us. Feel free to fill the form. Okay, we will make the introduction.
Yeah.
Because I think so. Rachana ji is very passionate towards making MSMEs I'll say enabling MSMEs, right? Okay.
Enabling has become my passion now.
Yes. Yeah.
I
so,
love enabling. मतलब क्या
I
होता
know.
है कि आपने जब खुद इतनी घिस ली है ना काम करते करते,
Right.
तब आपको लगता है यार लोगों को बता दो, टाइम
बता
वेस्ट
दो.
करो, यू नो,
Right.
बिकॉज आपने सीखा है तो आप सिखा दोगे
Right.
सबको।
No,
So I
thank
am
you.
always
आप इतने passionate से बात कर रहे तो I didn't stop you, right? But very, very interesting, and I'm 100% sure that people would be loving that, and they would connect with you to gain more insights into
sure,
that,
sure.
right?
Anytime.
So
Yeah.
now let us talk something very different, right? Now we've understood the challenge. We understood that there is a framework which can help the leaders. Now let us understand the why part of it, because that is very important. भाई problem है, problem का solution भी है, but why should I adopt it? Okay, now whys may, because keeping time into mind, there may be a lot of whys. Let us focus on one of the whys which I've been asked a lot, right? We are already using traditional goal setting method, okay? Because goal setting is required as a building block. Whenever you operate or run a company, or whatever size it is, micro, small or medium, there are goals. You have to create your goals पूरे साल में क्या करना है, what you have to do in a year, then how to drill down every quarter, like you have to create goals. Now OKRs is also a goal setting and execution framework. So why should we utilize OKRs when we are utilizing our traditional goal setting method, that is KRA KPI based goal setting method? So Deepshikha, I would like you to shed a light on why should these leaders take advantage of OKRs rather than going the path of traditional goal setting methods.
So, first and foremost, I love this framework because I think in a year itself is a 4 quarters. And I think it's injustice to business if we do not review our business on quarterly basis. It's absolutely injustice toward us ourselves, when as a founders we are giving money and we don't know, we are not tapping to human capital, where it is going, who's contributing, who's not contributing to your purpose. So it is very small investment. MSME should do it towards OKR framework or to such platform, so that they can review it in a very structured way. Is the one. Strategic objectives should align and the goal setting should happen. So I think the biggest why is this. What we do, why is all towards the businesses. So to make your business accessible to you, their review. So if your business review happens, your human capital review happens. If your human capital review happens, performance reviews happens. And if that happens, that you understand where your bus is going, and it is growing or it is not growing.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. So Deepshikha, now this is, I understand that this is one part of it, right?
Yeah.
But if our audience wants to understand, what are the lacunas in the traditional goal setting method? So please share some light on that also.
Goal setting, you don't see that quarterly review. You don't see it every 15 days. Also, the best part of the OKR is that every 15 days you do check-ins. And that is not there. All traditional methods talks about the yearly. And as I said, that if we are not quarterly basis reviewing our business, we are doing injustice. So before the people review, it's your business review. And you should look at in every quarter. And that is not in any other kind of goal setting method doesn't give you this leverage to look at that. That structure is not there, basically. Like if I talk about any other smart like any KPI KRA system where individualistic we focus, here we talk about teams, which also take the teams along. So when I'm talking about the review system, even I'm not talking about XYZ is not performing, I'm talking about the team. What is missing? Let's bring it at that. So this also brings the empowerment. It brings the people accountable for their responsibilities. The founder sees they don't need to do any hard work. Yes, accepting any business framework and bringing it to the business takes some time, and leadership has to do it. They have to play with the employees first quarter, second quarter, but then we see start happening into the rhythm, and then there less efforts are there. So any other framework, I think you need to sit to review your business for a year, or if there are some mishappening. And by the way world is changing, AI is coming in and many things are, if there are something to adopt, you can do it quarterly basis, which is happening through OKRs. If there is something which you're not supposed to do in the business, you can cut down that cost. You can take those decisions immediately. And you have a clear-cut report in the front of you for your human capital, for your business. So I feel none of the other framework allows you to do that.
Very interesting. So if I pick few pointers, then definitely one of the biggest pointer would be focusing not just on individual performance,
but team performance.
Or team performance.
Yeah.
Right now, the team is thinking how we can contribute towards the business.
They are the driver for you.
They are the drivers, right?
But in old system, we don't give this leverage. We look at them, ye action hai, aise hi kar lo. And even I say sales head, VP says, they say, ye meko bola gaya, main ye karna chahta hu. They are not aligned with the strategy. They don't create plan and come with that, sir, ye karte hain. They don't stretch goals.
Right.
They just busy into action.
Yeah. And another thing that I picked up from your conversation was finding that delta, what is missing actually, quarter by quarter. Maybe whatever I had to achieve, if I had to, I'll pick up from Rachana's objective key I have to reach out to 20 clients, right? When I'll reach 20 clients, maybe I'll close 5 clients. Now, if that is not happening, so what was missing? Let me solve that so that I can then I can reach out and close 5 clients. So that delta, the system, the OKRs are very agile in that way. And as you said, Deepshikha, that empowerment is also very important. So what missing can also be the education part.
I think it's automatically take place. Agar usko dikha de ye missing hai, and if the employees really has intent to work, he'll come with the solutions and ye karte hain. Then I've seen that. Like, you don't need to tell to empowered people how to react, but tell them and give them the space to work and think. This is possible with OKR. Yes, important thing is finding delta, which happens easily.
Right.
So that the delta happens easily, people are able to see their goal. They are able to, if like I'm a head HR, I'm able to see, okay, I'm here, I'm supposed to do this work, and then this thing will happen automatically, and how I'm contributing to the business, how I can eliminate this, and how I can make it better.
Right. Thank you, Deepshikha. Let me come back to you, Dr. Rachana. Now we understood that why part of it. Other part of businesses is the engagement of everyone towards the business. Whatever way if you see it, engagement with the leaders, right? Oftenly, I have seen companies and people in the companies discussing within themselves over the cup of tea outside the office. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing this. Boss ne kaha isliye kar. Right. Now, and somehow that belongingness, that motivation is just कि यार पैसे मिल रहा है, salary आ रही है इसीलिए. And I've also seen on the other hand, the smallest organization where the employees have the high level of belongingness and the engagement. There the motivation is not the salary ki last mein salary aa jaye. Their motivation is I have to actually turn the company around. I have to grow the company. If the company grows, I grow. So now, well, when you understand, Rachana, that OKRs are a tool, or also a tool for engagement, because it believes in transparency. Okay.
Right.
So how, in your experience, how can OKRs create a more engaged and
Sure.
motivated workforce, whatever the size of the company?
Whatever. So, Ravi, wonderful. What you are referring to as engagement, I would rephrase that for our audiences to imagine that as recognition.
Right.
Because होता ये है कि everybody needs pat on the back. भाई काम हुई है बढ़िया, भाई थोड़ा सा थपथपा दो, खुश हो जाएगा. ठीक है. So एक होता है कि pat on the back, अगर एक विजिबल डैशबोर्ड है, आपको दिखाई दे रहा है भाई इस एम्प्लॉय ने ये किया है, इस एम्प्लॉय ने ये किया है, इस बंदे ने इस दिन पे ये किया. यू हैव अ डैशबोर्ड, यू हैव द एबिलिटी टू पैट हिम और हर, and that recognition motivates the staff to perform even better. This is the thumb rule for performance कि आपने उसे appreciate करना ही है. अगर आपने उसे appreciate, ठीक है, appreciate के साथ आपको थोड़ा सा उसे critical analysis भी देना है. Performance बहुत सही नहीं हुआ, as a boss, as a superior, as he is reporting into you or she is reporting into you, your role is to guide and mentor the subordinate. So recognition of the work contributed by the X person is happening because of this smart dashboard. That solves major part. Second part is what many of us as founders or MSMEs or even startup founders, etc., tend to miss is the success celebration.
Right.
Even if you have had one customer success, celebrate it.
Right.
Put it out on social media, put a PR story about it, talk about it, because when your one story goes out, 10 people are seeing that. And that is going to give you 5 more leads. That people think, oh, अभी तो हम लोग बहुत छोटे, जब हम बहुत बड़े हो जाएंगे तब हम अपने बारे में बोलेंगे लोगों को. That zamana has changed because the times are so fast. What used to be a 1-year journey or a 5 years journey today has become like you got to do it in 3 months, and your time is getting shorter and shorter with so many activities around. And the fractional mindset that people have, attention span ही नहीं है लोगों का. सारे दिन इतना नोटिफिकेशन चल रहा है कि आपने उसको कहाँ पे उसका माइंडसेट पकड़ना है, तो यू गॉट टू गो टॉम-टॉमिंग अबाउट योर ओन सेल्फ. सो फ्रॉम द वेरी start talking about your achievements, start talking of your plans to the external world. Do PR, do social media, do branding. Focus on building your brand parallelly for all MSME founders is another very important thing, which will all happen if there is a dashboard, there is a framework, you see through, there is transparency, and that transparency builds in clear thinking and executes properly. So it goes hand in hand, everything.
Very interesting. So definitely, yes, recognition is very important. And one of the benefits or one of the pillars of OKRs is continuous improvement through recognition, through feedbacks. So that is very important, right? Okay, so I have been asked some questions. Let me put it out to my panelists. Okay, so Deepshikha, one of our audiences has asked if you can share some one or two examples of HR operations OKRs. That would be great.
HR operations OKR.
Right.
Okay, so I think this audience is, I think they want to ask how OKR can be implemented for HR, if I'm not wrong. So let me give you the. So first I would say that definitely OKR is not a performance management system, but it helps and integrate both the things together. Now understand this thing in such a way. Leadership has something in their mind. I'm going to talk about the founders, and the people at the bottom line, front line, they think they wait for the appraisal yearly system. They are all interested here if they are not aligned with the business strategy. In OKR framework, we talk about strategic objectives first. We align the organization goal and we align the people goal along with the organization goal. So data, when you receive it from here. You receive the data for your appraisals. Even, appraisals happens for the yearly activity, and whereas an OKR works quarterly. Now you can think as an HR how sharp data you get. You get actually authentically what business required, how much people at what capacity they are performing. Now, what they are performing it every quarterly, you're able to see. You're able to take decision as a HR. This and that is where I'm talking about human capital evaluation. You're able to see my people in my company are 70% effectiveness. They have 30%, 40%. What I needs to bring in, to whom I need to leverage, to whom I need to give training, to whom we probably need to show them the different path. But if you do not have this evaluation as a HR, also you're not able to do more. Even if you know attrition is high, why people are leaving, because you do not have any data. So I kind of say that OKRs gives you a very correct data about your business, because ultimately why we hire people. We hire people, we do their performance appraisal all because of the business. And unfortunately in India, many of the organization has appraisal system missing. I'm talking about the large organization making money over 100 crores.
Right, right.
I think you must have seen that. So when
Yes.
we go meet founders, they said, "Ma'am, appraisal system में नहीं आप OKR की बात कर रहे हो." Please understand, we think that maturity is required. How maturity is going to take place? It's going to take place when you evaluate our business on quarterly basis. So it's not about appraisal. Appraisal is secondary thing. I want to tell every MSME, don't think about appraisal for a year. If your strategic objectives are not aligned with your team, forget that. After all, if business makes money, we make money, people will be happy.
Right.
Nothing delay.
Right. And audiences, please, if you want to have examples, okay, just looking and respecting time, you can go and visit our website, getjob.com. You will have enough resources and you can have enough examples. Hope that will help you. Rachana ji, I'll come to you. Now, one of our audience has asked question that they've heard that OKRs can be time consuming to implement. How can I implement in a way that will save time? So now you can answer that, and also you can re-improvise the question in a way that in the MSME, where the business is very important daily, there's so much hustle. How to find time, right? And how to implement such a initiative, such a framework efficiently.
Ravi, wonderful. I think we should look at some of the case studies that we have had in the recent past. And if you discuss the case studies, one can picturize clearly कि वो MSME ने actually OKR adopt करने के बाद उन्हें कैसा फर्क पड़ा. So I think आप ही वो, if you have that case study, I have quite a few ones. You can share some of the case studies that you may have. And I will share some with me.
Sure. So audiences, if any one of you want to have those case studies, please fill our form. Definitely, I will love to share those case studies, and they are also on our website also. But just since quickly, I'll take 2 or 3 minutes to
I would like
answer
to
that
add to this question, please.
Yeah,
like,
please.
Like OKR is time consuming. This kind of question, you're already wasting your time. If you're delaying this decision, because without review, business review, without your team review, what are you doing? You're just selling the products and trying to build in, because you don't have any accessibility. Number one. So I think we are already wasting the time in business if you're do not have any framework. And also would like to take Google, LinkedIn, they were startup. Some point of time, how they are able to grow so fast because of this OKR. Go, there is an article available on the Google. I would like to say to every MSME founder that go and look at the Google, Twitter, all they are able to grow themselves with this kind of growth, because they have reviewed, they have done the timely review, which is possible with you. Any good smart framework, whatever it's aligned with your business.
Right. Very good. Thank you, Deepshikha. Two, three tips very quickly I like to say when you go ahead to implement frameworks like OKRs is, first of all, commit to yourself. Okay, this is, and when I say commit, that means I'm talking about the commitment of the leader, commitment of the top management. If you are a small team of maybe 5 to 10 people, be committed. And if you are committed as a leader, if you are a team of 50 people, be committed as a leader of the management. If you are a team of 100, commitment comes first. Then only, and as Deepshikha rightly said, we have wasted enough time. So only if, because any business cannot run without a yearly plan. So you already have something in your mind. However, formal or informal it may be. कागज पे लिखा है नहीं लिखा है फाइल में डाला है नहीं डाला है एक अलग स्टोरी है बट देयर इज अ प्लान नाउ जस्ट यू हैव टू क्रिएट योर गोल्स you do not have to waste your time in going after and creating the right goals. Just create the goals. It is a time taking task. It will take time, but it should not take time in just one quarter. Create goals whatever way you want. Okay, you will see that you will mature enough while working on those goals during that quarter. In the second quarter, you will see that you yourself are creating a better goals, whether in terms of the language, whether in terms of finding those gaps and trying to create goals to find the solution. So do not, first is the commitment as a leader. Second is do not waste your time in creating right goals. There is nothing called right goal. It should just fit as per your plan, whatever you have thought for a year. Third is engage people, be transparent. That is the mantra. If you're not transparent, if you're still living in that world that no, the revenue part, my team members should not know. Okay, no, there is no fun in that. Now it's quite open. Okay, let them know it. Let them know your aspirations. Let them know that you want to now do 10 crores. Let them know that you want to grow from 2 units to 3 units. You want, so where is the harm? So these are the 3 things. First is commitment. Second is do not waste your time in creating right goals. Just create your goals. Go ahead and start executing. Third is be transparent.
Ravi, I would like to share something. The last week I was meeting a founder and he said that, ma'am, you're too professional. And I think let me train myself for the OKR and then I'll come to you. Again, the part of maturity.
That happens.
So,
Deepshikha, there's one more question. I'll come to you with that for the answer. Very quickly, this question is towards the sustainable. Now, suppose a lot of time we see, Dr. Rachana, that we implement something and we see that it dies its own death and it becomes a one-time initiative. So the audience wants to ask the question, how it can become an ongoing part of the company.
This sure. So in fact, there are hundreds of initiatives that a founder would do, and it will see the light of the day probably that week, that month. And he or she did all the efforts, and then it happened, and then it will automatically fizzle down. It will fizzle down and it will never again emerge because he or she will never have the energy again to brief the team again all over, make those drafts again all over and do it. Hence, putting it all together on a dashboard of this kind is really, really important.
Digitizing.
So, this is where OKR dashboard helps, and I have seen that impact. And most importantly, what this is really doing is it is enabling the founder or the CEO or the leader to get a helicopter view.
Yes.
But now वो daily operations में 95% इतने sucked up चल रहे हैं कि भाई उन्हें helicopter view ही नहीं दिख रहा है. He or she not able to see up कि मैं business को ऊपर से कैसे देखूं. Hence, a dashboard helps.
Yes,
I would say that is the most important thing, to get the helicopter view of the entire business process, employee, staff, performance, सब कुछ दिखाई देना.
सब कुछ दिखाई देना चाहिए.
Nice
Very
answer.
nice. Deepshikha.
Like to add on to this is like, it's loud and clear into the industry now. Continuity is the key. So failure will come, and if you still stand by for your business, the first step an entrepreneur should take it up, review your business. Look forward the framework, and without continuity, at least before the 4th quarter, don't leave it, don't give up. 2 quarter mein to bahut mess hoga. And anything, it is exactly like when you look at the carpet, there's a lot of garbage under it. When you clean it, it's gonna smell it. So jab abhi karenge na, to bahut sare repetition, bahut challenges aayenge, but you need to really understand it's just a part of it. And by the time 3 quarters pass away, 4 quarters pass away, you'll be able to see the immense change. One of my company was saying 5x, 6x, 10x revenue growth has been registered easily, along with these kind of, this kind of framework, specifically OKRs I work with. So I think continuously something is loud and clear. The messages are all over the industry. कोई भी स्टार्टअप होता है, आप ऐसे नहीं छोड़ देते हो, आप उसको चलाते हो, एक टाइम में लगता है छोड़ दो यार. सेम ऐसे ही है. If you are thinking it can bring magic to your business, stay with it. That's it. Stay with it. Your conviction, it's gonna happen. And with the right leader, approach the right consultant, it's gonna happen for sure.
Right. Thank you, Deepshikha. And I think so, Dr. Rachana, the why part of that is also very important, that since the founders are getting that helicopter view and they are not getting sucked up in day-to-day routine, I agree that they most of the time goes into their daily management part. But if they get a helicopter view, they can very easily only solve the problem that is actually that actually matters at that point of a time. And yeah, Deepshikha, it's very important that they understand and they commit. That is how it is going to be sustainable. And just I would like to add one more point. So to make it more sustainable, we need to create champions also within the organization. So we do not have to keep it to ourselves. So if there's a 5 people, since I'm talking about 5 people company, I'm talking about micro, if there's a 10, 12, 20, whatever size of the company is, do not keep the framework or the digitization to yourself. Create champions, make them learn, enable them. That is how you will make it sustainable.
Yeah.
So here I'd like to end our webinar. Thank you, Dr. Rachana. Thank you, Deepshikha, for finding out time. Today, I love to do more webinars with you guys and hear more about MSMEs and more of how government is solving them, and how the corporates, how the IT industry, they can be the part of it, how we can solve, how we can enable those leaders and the organizations.
Completely.
Thank you, everyone. And
thank you.
Please feel free to register. And I hope you have registered and you have filled our forms. You'll get your free resources also and exclusive benefits. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for finding out time.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. Lovely. Thanks, Rachana. Thank you.